I learned a few things from this class, but the biggest lesson that I learned is that you should always evaluate and consider your situation. Everyone faces hardships, but your hard will never compare to someone else's hard and vice versa. Nobody can ever tell you that they are experiencing something harder than you because everyone deals with hard decisions and hard times. I also learned that racism, sexism, classism, nativism, and heterosexism are so much bigger than their textbook definitions. They all go a lot deeper, and when you look under the surface and you really evaluate it, you will see a lot of problems surface and understand why our minority groups speak up and are finally starting to defend themselves. The most interesting thing that I learned from this course was about heterosexism. I learned that there are many terms that can be used to describe people that refer to their gender and to their sexuality, and it amazed me that there were so many terms that people can identify as. When taking all of the self-assessments, it really made me think of just how privileged I am and how lucky I am to be a straight white woman in America today. I know who I am and I know who and what I identify as. For a lot of people in our country, they struggle to find themselves and they struggle to be truly who they want to be and who they were born to be because of the constant judgment that is within our society. Laws are placed that force them into hiding and force them to be ashamed of who they are. Some people throw religion in their faces and force them to believe in certain things and hate who they are because they believe they should conform to what society believes they should be. While reading and responding to my evaluation statements, my heart would sometimes sink because I would always put myself in someone else's shoes and imagine how awful it must feel to be rejected by family, friends, and half of the world. It definitely made me appreciate the life that I live and the friends and family that I have. I realize that I am lucky to have the life that I have, and a lot of people are forced to be who they are not because they need and crave that acceptance, and they will sometimes be whoever the world wants them to be just so they can feel accepted. When learning about each ism, my eyes continuously got wider and more aware of how severe the problem with race, social class, gender, and sexuality is. When I started this class, I knew how hard the life of a homosexual, transgender, poor, or a minority person was, but I never in a million years would have realized just how crazy and judgmental our world is. With each module came a bigger shock and a larger feeling of disappointment in how our society has evolved. With each year, I expected the world to accept differences a little more, but instead, we just push them aside and we bury them, so that we don't have to deal with it. The more society pushes, the more our minority groups hide themselves and feel like a disgrace. There are some, however, who speak out and change the minds of those who were once closed-minded. Now, when starting this class, I would ignore the problem, and I thought that the problem was a minor issue compared to all of the other issues of the world. Now, I start thinking how maybe our society's closed-mindedness and judgment leads to all of the other issues that are occurring around the world. We see a lot of hate crimes and a lot of crimes committed by those who are tired of being ignored by the world and not being accepted by those around them. Now, I believe that without a change in the way we accept and view others, our crime rate will climb high and our incarceration rate will continue to outnumber the rest of the world. We need to start advocating for a change, and more minority groups need to be defended by majority groups, so our world can grow and learn to accept differences with each new generation that comes. History always repeats itself, and the violence of our past needs to stay there and stay out of our future. Before I started this class, I knew nothing about social work, and this was just a class I took because I needed something else to fill credits. However, during the time I learned about each module, I learned so much about the field of social work, and it became very interesting and something I love to learn about and respond to. I learned that there are many grand challenges that social workers of different fields all try to help and make a difference in. The 12 grand challenges are to ensure that all youth have a healthy development, the health gap is closed, that family violence is stopped, that people live long and productive lives, that we eradicate social isolation, that homelessness is ended, social responses to a changing environment are created, Technology is used for social good. Smart decarceration is promoted. Financial capability is built for all. Extreme economic inequality is reduced. And that equal opportunity and justice is achieved. When starting this class, I was interested in family violence, healthy development for our youth, creating social responses to a changing environment, and ending homelessness. While I am still interested in all of those, I am now also interested in people living long and productive lives, and equal opportunity and justice is achieved. I believe now that all people deserve the same opportunities no matter their race, their sexuality, their gender, or their social class. All people deserve a shot at success. It should not be held for just the white man, but instead should be given to anyone who proves they deserve it, which is where living long and productive lives comes into play. I also now believe that without productivity, our lives will be short-lived because we will depend on other people to do our work, and we will depend on everyone around us to do everything, and our health will diminish, and we will start to fade away slowly. Not only did I learn about these grand challenges, but I learned that there are so many different fields of social work and different kinds of social workers, and that became very intriguing to me. I learned that there are field social workers, forensic social workers, hospice social workers, school social workers, community social workers, and even more. Each field focuses on something different, but all have the same grand challenges as their goals. They all strive to achieve the same thing, but all in different ways. It was very interesting to me that there are so many different ways to achieve the same goal and so many different focuses on the same spectrum. At the beginning of this class, I thought that a social worker was just somebody who worked in the foster care system. Now, I know that social work is so much more than just working with the youth of today. It includes ensuring that people live good lives and can achieve anything. It also includes ensuring that people get the help that they need and they get to where they need to go in the right way. As I move forward in my career, I will use all of this information to go into the criminal justice system and hopefully make a difference using all I know about all of the isms. Before starting this class, I was very interested in being a crime scene investigator, but now I am interested in working either as a forensic social worker or working in the juvenile delinquent system, working with the youth of today. I want to be that person that opens the mind of younger generations so they can teach the generations after them that being different is okay, and the differences in everyone is what makes the world and our country such a special place. I want to use all of this information to allow those who were scared to be different to come out of their shell and be who they were meant to be.